Good crafternoon, everyone. Welcome to Suestampfield.com. Welcome to my stamp room. My name is Susan Campfield. Today is Saturday, October 21st, and this is my monthly virtual class. So welcome, everyone. I do this video as a public video, but some of you have a packet that you earned by placing a $50 order last month, and I mailed you a packet, and you'll be making the card along with me. This is a unique fun fold card, and I'm super excited to unveil it to you all. Shout out to my Stampfield Stars team members. They already saw this card on Thursday, and they got all of the information to cut their own packets. So hopefully they'll be creating along with us as well. And for those of you on my team, there'll be a little duplication because I showed you how to score it on Thursday, and I'm going to show that again, of course. So welcome, everyone. So glad you're here. I wanted to thank each and every one of you for making and sending handmade cards. Together, we're making a difference. We're making the world a kinder place. So thanks all for all that you do. Some of you might be Stampin' Up! Demonstrators that enjoy your Stampin' Up! Discount. Some of you might be demonstrators that do classes or have friends over to make cards. And so you might say, well, I don't mail that many cards, but if you're teaching others how to make cards, you're doing even more, right? So thank you for what you're doing to spread cards all over the world to just make it a kinder and happier place. So we're going to be doing our Crafternoon Fun Fold today. The name of this fold is called the Cascading Pleats Fun Fold. I'm going to walk you through how to make the make and take, shall we call it, project. And then I have 4 alternate designs that I had a lot of fun with creating. So I'll be sharing those with you as well. There will be a blog post and a tutorial that will be available for purchase. The tutorial, I can't talk today. The tutorial has step-by-step instructions, photos on all 5 of the cards, all of the supplies, broken all out for you with lots of pictures because I'm a visual learner and I like lots of pictures in my tutorial. So that will be available after this video, but not immediately. It is in the final stages. It's being proofread right now, and the final touches added in, and then the blog post has to be written. So the tutorial, my hope is to have it available for you either later tonight or tomorrow. The best way to know when it's available is to actually subscribe to my blog. You can do that by going to, let me find it. There we go. Go to Suestampfield.com, click on subscribe. You've got a couple options. You can get free project sheets in your email. If you want more inspiration, you can also subscribe to my blog, and that's where all the details on what you're going to see today, including all the photos and all the pretty photos and so forth, will be found. So I'm super picky about photos, so it takes me forever to get that blog post done because I love good pictures too. So let's go ahead and get this party started. Shout out to my moderator, Jennifer Walsh. She is hanging in the comments here, helping us out today. So okay, I got my supplies ready, but I'm going to slide those off because I want to show you the card first, and then I'm going to show you all the alternates, and then I'm going to show you how to make it. So this is the card that is the, let's call it the make and take. This is the one that was in the packet that people received. So this is called the Cascading Pleats Fun Fold card. So the pleats are over here on the sides. Can you see the pleats there and how they cascade downwards? And it opens up like this. It stands for display, fans out. You've got all these different panels that you can decorate with your fun projects. Fonda wants to know if I clean my desk. So my Sue Stampfield Facebook group friends got to see a picture. It was really embarrassing to post, you guys. Oh my gosh. When I'm preparing for Crafternoon and I'm making all these alternates, my desk is like a disaster. And I shared a picture on Friday in my Sue Stampfield Facebook group. Anyone's welcome to join us in the Sue Stampfield Facebook group. Just go to Facebook and search for Sue Stampfield and I'll pop you in the group. And just like literally piles of stuff. And so, yeah, I cleaned it, or maybe I just shoved it out of the way. One of those two things, one of those two options. Guess which one I did. So this is our card. This one, for this version, I used the the Magical Meadow stamp set and dies, which are gorgeous. And then this one features the Snowflake Magic Designer Series paper. This is a specialty paper, and it's got that beautiful shimmer to it. And so you can see we've got our front panel here. That wings open to this middle panel, and then to the final panel. And I just put in a blank place to write a message. You certainly could stamp another greeting on there if you wish. And hopefully you can make it out on the camera here. This is the Snowfall 3D embossing folder back here, and also on the front. A little hard to see the white on white on my camera sometimes, so hopefully you can make that out. Another thing that might be hard to see is this beautiful die from that Magical Meadow bundle is actually cut from the Lost Lagoon shimmer paper in the annual catalog. So it is kind of glittery and shimmery. And then of course underneath we've got the adhesive backed silver glimmer paper there. And then this one is in white. So I got this, I was inspired to make this card, and I want to make sure I give a shout out to her. Her name is Leslie, pull it out here. Leslie Kilby did a vertical version of a card like this. She called it the 3-panel card, I believe. And I will, her blog is called elegantedges.co.uk. She's a demonstrator in the United Kingdom. And again, her name is Leslie Kirby, and it was a 3-panel card. I'll post the link to her vertical version in the description of this YouTube video. And it's also in the tutorial, so that link is in there if you want to check that out. So I took her, design, the technique of doing that cascading pleats, and then I just redid the whole card to get the landscape version and to have it be in the US cardstock size, which is 8.5 by 11. When I create, I actually just use typing paper for the panels, just to play around, because there was a lot of different sizes, that I played around with, and this was the one that was my favorite, and that's what I ended up with. So okay, so let's look at the other alternates, shall we? So now my customers who placed a $50 order last month before tax and shipping received a packet to make this card. In their packet, I added a little extra bonus. So they all received this Snowflake Magic paper. But if they want to do the card slightly different, I gave them another option for paper, or they can make the Snowflake Magic version and then after the video cut a card base to use their other piece of designer paper. So I also sent them a piece of designer paper from the Winter Meadow Designer Series paper, which is actually the one that coordinates with this bundle. And some people got this one, which has the pine trees on it, and some got this one, which is the berries. And see what that looks like. Or both of these, you can use either side. Look how gorgeous that side is. So if you have the packet, you've got multiple options. And in fact, the back side of this one also is very pretty on this card. If you don't like the trees and you want to just go with that kind of speckled design, all good choices, right? So then after creating the make and take, I started playing with some other stamps, ink, and paper to show you some alternate designs with this same fold. So I know that designer paper is so pretty, isn't it, Melody? That Winter Meadow paper is gorgeous. So my first alternate that I created, I wanted to make the card in a color cardstock instead of in the white. So this one I made in Misty Meadow, and this is with the Berry Christmas Designer Series paper. And then the greeting, so let me show you how it goes here. So we have wishing you a very Merry Christmas. So that sentiment, wishing you a very Merry Christmas, is from another stamp set, and it actually called Joy to You, and it actually all comes on one stamp. Which one is it? Oh yeah, it's this one right here, wishing you a very Merry Christmas. I just stamped it and cut it out, right? I just cut them apart to split them out for our card. And then in the tutorial, I have a version where you can also do the bear from the paper for right here where, is it here on my desk? Oh, probably. Yeah, here's what you can see about if you just punch the bear out from the paper. This one is stamped with the Berry Cute bundle and punched out with that Berry Cute punch. So lots of options. And of course, this stands up for display. And then the front is just cut a scene from that designer paper. And that one is so quick and easy. It would make a really fast and simple Christmas card. So that is our very cute version. All right, what's next? What's next? We got more. All right, so if you prefer, we've been talking about this in my videos on at Christmas, do you make multiple cards? And what a couple of people said is they make multiples because they kind of customize it to the person they're sending it to. So people that like, polar bears, or for instance, we live, the community next door to us here in the Minneapolis, St. Paul is right here. One of the suburbs next door is the White Bear Lake area. So you can customize it to who you're sending it to. Somebody that likes, loves winter would, maybe love that card. And then if you like have someone that loves elegant cards, it's upside down, Susan. Let's do it right side up, shall we? We have this gorgeous card with the Christmas Classics bundle. And so this one, the front panel, this is also the Joyful Specialty Designer Series paper. Your high school mascot was polar bears. Perfect. You used to work on White Bear Lake. Woohoo! And this, my husband works on White Bear Lake. This is the Tidings of Comfort and Joy, which of course is a Christmas song. So it goes really well with the musical notes. And then the designer paper here is actually the embossing folder here is the, what's it called, Jennifer? Oh, shoot. You probably don't have that in front of you. It's the Melody 3D embossing folder. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm blanking out on the name there. And so then we have the middle panel, and then the end one has that beautiful frame with some more Merry Christmas. And for this one, the greeting, or the area to write your greeting on, is over here on the left. So let's go on to the next one. And okay, so that 1, 2, 3, 4, we're up to number 4. This one is coming soon. So if you are a demonstrator, this is something that you could pre-order right now. Or if you, oh my gosh, where did I put it? There's a really great deal going on right now on the starter kit. And I had the flyer right here and I moved it right before I started, and yeah, my desk ate it. That's pretty much typical. That's pretty much how we roll around here. This is called the Fluffiest Friends Bundle. And so demonstrator pre-order is going on for this right now. Customers will be able to order this starting November 7th. It is what they call an online exclusive, which just means it's not going to be pictured in a catalog, but it's available to order. Merry Melody embossing folder. Thank you, Jennifer. That's what this one is. Okay, so Fluffiest Friends right now can be pre-ordered by demonstrators, or if you get the starter kit, you can add this item to the starter kit. It's adorable animals. I used 2 of the animals on this card. Wait, is a bird an animal? Okay, 2 of the critters on this card, 2 of the friends. I used the bunny on the front. Now the sentiments here are from Zany Zoo, and I've colored it with the Stampin' Blends. I have step-by-step coloring instructions for you in the tutorial with all of the blends I used and exactly how to do it. And then we're going to open this up right here. Inside we've got that soft shimmer paper, again this time in Bubble Bath, with a little balloon. I don't know if you can see the balloon string there under the greeting. And then the last section is our little bird who's holding on to another balloon. And I walk you through how to get the balloon string in his beak in the tutorial. So this one stands up like that for display. And one of the things you want to be aware of when you're putting together these cards is you want to make sure the things that you're putting on the center or the back don't show from the front, unless you want it to show. Or, like in this case, I went ahead and had part of that inside frame show up above because I thought that added to the InDesign. So that's just something to be aware of. And then our last alternate before I show you how to make this card. Oh my gosh. Okay. My stack is getting so high it's falling over here. Hang on. Let's switch this out here. Is this one. So this is another item that's going to be in the online exclusives area on November 7th for customers to order. Demonstrators can pre-order this gorgeous paper and the matching set bundle right now in their pre-order, or you can put it in the starter kit. And this one is the Meandering Meadow Designer Series paper, which is gorgeous paper, and it's so easy to just cut a pretty scene for the front. Super easy. Got some gems on there. I don't know if they'll show. And then in the middle, I had some fun with the stamp set that coordinates with this paper. So I've got our little watering can there and some flowers. I'm going to say delphiniums. I'm not much of a gardener. I'm going to stick to paper crafting, but I made them purplish. So again, in the tutorial, I've got step-by-step on exactly how I colored these items. And then on the inside, I did another scene from the paper. You just want to cut a scene that looks nice. And then we did the little rain boots. I colored them in Melon Mambo. And that's the spot where you would write the greeting. So this one stands for display like that. And this is the exposed brick embossing folder back here. So what do you guys think? Are you excited to learn the Cascading Pleats Fun Fold card? I'm going to pull out our make and take again so that I can refer to it as I'm walking you through this. So again, the full tutorial will be available later today or tomorrow as soon as we put the finishing touches on that along with the blog post. And the best place to get notification when that's available is to subscribe to my blog. Go to suestampfield.com, click on subscribe to the blog, and then when that blog post goes out, you'll get an email letting you know it's there, right? All right, I'm going to scroll down here and let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be sharing a few of the basic dimensions with you. Everything else will be available in that tutorial. Now, if you placed a qualifying order last month for $50, you're going to get that tutorial for free in your inbox as soon as it's ready. And if you're a Stampfield Stars team member, same thing, you're going to get that tutorial in your inbox as soon as it's ready. So, hey, Nancy P. Nancy's on my team. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to grab my packet. Again, if you qualified for, by placing a qualifying order last month, you would have gotten a cardboard mailer in the mail from me that has a Crafternoon sticker on the back. It's white. Sometimes they get stuck between other pieces of paper. So if you're trying to track it down, that's what it looks like. Carol wants to know if this card requires extra postage. That's a really good question, Carol. Hang on. I can tell you that it does fit in a standard envelope. And the postage part comes in with how much stuff you put on your cards, right? Oh, help me out. What is Ashley's company called again, Jennifer? One of my team members has a company where she makes 3D printing. She and her husband make 3D printing storage solutions for crafters. And one of their new things is this. So if you are in the US, this device will, oops, I'm not going to be able to do it unless I put it in the envelope. Hang on. This device will tell you if your card is thicker than the post office will do for one stamp. And so this one, with all the things I have on it, it's a little tight. So for this particular version, I would put 2 stamps on it. However, the bare version, it doesn't have ribbon or lumpy, very many lumpy things, just some dimensionals. It's going to go easily with 1 stamp. Okay, so it depends how much stuff you put on your card. The flatter you can keep it, the better off. I usually just add extra postage to mine. I get the butterfly stamps, which is extra postage, and because I want to make sure my cards get there. It's called the Letter Buddy, and Ashley's company is called The Country Hive. Thank you, Jennifer. Let's see, can I share that? Yep, The Country Hive, and that's their website where you can find that. Okay, so let's go back to this. Jennifer, guess what? This was this was your packet, and it came back to me because I had a wrong part on your address. But then I sent out your packet, which I'm sure you probably got because you're right here in town. So this is exactly what a packet looks like. One of my qualifying customers gets the qualifies, right? Because let's see what we got in here. Ooh, I don't even know which alternate design and so forth. Okay, this one has the trees in it, and of course everybody got the snowflake paper. So what we're going to start with are these pieces here. So I'm going to keep these together. The Post-it note has our gems in it. Got my die cut pieces and my paper and some layering pieces in there. I'm going to set that aside, and I will set aside these two embossed pieces for now. And we're going to start with our card base and our panels. All right. So I'm going to bring in, this one has some unusual score lines on it. So I want to share those with you. Hold on one moment. Of course, I left my other paper trimmer downstairs. Wouldn't you know it? All right. So this one, bear with me here. I'm going to just go ahead and put the score lines right up on the screen for you. All right. So the Cascading Pleats fun fold card. Oh, that made a squeaky sound. Here's the tool. It's in the tray where it belongs. So we score this at 5.5. I've already scored this, so no sense in scoring it again, but 5.5, and then 6.5, then 7.5, and then 8.5. And the paper is 4.25 by 9.5. All right. 4.25 by 9.5, and we scored it at 5.5, 6.5, 7.5, and 8.5. All right. Now you rotate this. Now, those of you that have a packet, I already did all this scoring for you, but I just want to show you how to do it so that when you replicate it and when you're going along with the tutorial, you've got a visual. I do have a really great graphic in the tutorial as well. My team members saw that on Thursday. So next, we're rotating the cardstock. Now, this part, I'm doing it as score lines. You don't have to. You could actually do it as pencil marks. This is going to show us where to cut. Honestly, I don't like doing pencil marks, because then I have to erase and I'm really lazy. So I prefer to doing score marks. So I started at the 3/4 inch mark. Let me put this one away and bring this one up. So I rotated my cardstock so the 4.25 inch side is at the top, and I scored at the 3-inch line down to the 3-inch mark, and I stopped. Another way to think of that is going from at the 3/4 inch mark. I'm seeing if I can tilt this so you can see the line, and crossing one intersecting score line, a second intersecting score line, and stopping when you get to the third intersecting score line. Okay. And then we move to the 1.5 inch mark, and we score to the 1 inch over here on the side, 1 inch, and we stop, which is also where you intersect with the very first score line. So you don't cross that first score line for the second line. All right. Again, it says we're talking about extra ounce postage in the comments there. So you should end up with something that looks like this. You've got these score lines, and then these ones on the side are the ones that are going to show us where to cut. Okay. I have this all stepped out in the tutorial for you. It's a very easy card, so don't get scared by this. This is just going to be our guide. So I'm going to try and tilt this so that you can see in the light. We are going to start on not the top score line, but the lower one here. And I'm not actually going to cut in the center of that score line. I'm cutting towards the lower edge of the score, just because I don't want any of it to show. So I'm going to cut on that score line and stop when I get to that first intersecting score line. Okay. Hide that so it's out of the way. Sorry if that was blocking your view. All right, so let me rephrase that and say that one more time. We're going to take a pair of scissors and you're going to cut to that on that first score line that's short and stop at the intersecting score line where that score line stops. Okay. And next, we're going to cut from where we stopped on a diagonal up to this corner where these two intersect. All right. So I'm going to go in here with my snips and I'm just going to cut at a diagonal right up to that point. Tilt that so you can see. Hopefully I'm not blurry. All right. So can you see we're starting to make these cascading pleats here? Now we're going to do another straight cut. So we're going to go back in here and here's that other score line. And we're going to cut on that score line. Again, I'm cutting towards the bottom part of the groove. And cutting straight to the next score line and stopping. And then I'm going to go from that point up to this point, right? So you can see we did our next little step. It's almost like a staircase, isn't it? And then we're going to do a diagonal cut from that point that we stopped at to the top of this next score line. Okay, so now you've got this stepped piece, all right? That's what's going to make the pleats. So now we're going to, and that's what makes them cascade. So we're going to go ahead and fold back. So we've got a mountain fold here on the center fold. This next one is going to be a valley fold. So we'll fold it backwards. Grab your bone folder and give that a good crease. All right, so it should look like that. Now we're going to make a mountain fold. So we're accordion folding. So we're going to go back this way. There's our mountain, valley, mountain. Go ahead and give that a crease. All right. Looks like stairs, right? And then we're going to fold this one backwards. So this will be a valley again, and we're going to give that a crease. If it's swinging down or anything, you can, if it's a little bit off, you can adjust it and just give it a nice sharp crease there. And there you've got that pleated side that cascades downwards. And now we can make it super easy by adding in our panels. Okay. I think I did that wrong, didn't I, Jennifer? I think I showed the panel one instead of the, oh goodness, Susan. All right. A Saturday brain day here. Okay, so let me show this one more time. So this was our cascading pleats card. Those were the score lines here, and then we rotated it, and the bottom there I've got those other score lines. So sorry about that. We rotated it like this, didn't we? Yep, like that. All right, so there we have our piece. Now I can show you. Thought I was being so efficient there, and I'm showing the wrong sizes. Oh my goodness. All right, so now we can grab those other panels. This is the middle panel, and it measures 3.5 by 4 3/4. It's going to go in the middle. And then the top panel is 2 3/4 by 4, and it's going to just attach to this tab area. So we're going to first attach the middle one. So I'm going to fold this backwards so I see that straight edge there. And I'm going to put some adhesive right on this section. And I'm just using standard adhesive. You absolutely could use tear and tape if you prefer that. Because it's 2 lines of adhesive, I didn't experience any issues with the card falling apart. But if you live in a high humidity area and you just want extra security, you absolutely could do a stronger tape on that. And then we're going to go ahead and add some adhesive to this. So there's our middle panel, has now been adhered. And now we're going to put some adhesive right here. And we're going to go ahead and attach this front panel. To the front of the card. All right. And there we have. Now, if you have a little bit of cardstock that is sticking up on the pleat from that front panel, or if your angles are not as straight as you'd like, you can always go in with your scissors and straighten that up. Mine's not too bad, but here I'll just show you what I mean. You can just adjust it by just trimming off a bit more. Totally up to you. I can't even get this. Okay, it's actually pretty good. So I might just be messing it up right now, but that's what I mean. You can just straighten it up. If anything is a little wonky, you can just trim it up like that. Okay, so now I've got this and we're ready to decorate. All right, so that's where our other pieces come in. We're going to start with those 2 embossed pieces. Again, these were embossed with the Snowflake Sky embossing folder. We've had some contention on our channel here, which direction this folder goes. So one end is Snowflake Sky because there's a heavier concentration of snow on one spot and a lighter on the other. So some people were saying that the lighter is where the sky, where it's coming down from the sky and then it's piling up at the bottom. I don't really know, and I don't think it really matters. So we're going to go ahead and but that's why it's called Snowflake Sky, because it's variegated like that. So I'm going to do it so that, see how I do it on the sample. I can do this one different and then we can see the difference. Now I've lost the sample. Oh my gosh, you guys. What the heck? Remember how I said I was going to set it right here so I could refer to it? Yeah. And then guess what? I covered it up. Oh, found it. Take a sip, everyone. So I'm a messy crafter friends, and we play a little game. When I lose something and I find it again, we all take a sip of our beverage. So I found it, and we're going to take a sip. I'm going to hide that. So this is the snowflakes. What am I talking about? Oh yeah, I was going to see which way I did. Okay, this one I did the heavier concentration at the top. And this one, I think it's all pretty heavy. Actually, looks like it's a little bit heavier at the bottom. On the smaller piece, it doesn't show as much. So I'll do this one the opposite. I'll do the lighter part at the top. It totally doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter. All right, so put some adhesive on the back here. And this bigger piece goes inside the card. And it's 5 by 4 1/4. All right, and then the smaller piece goes on the front of the card. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this on. And again, I'll put the lighter concentration of flakes towards the tops. Again, totally doesn't matter. We're the only ones that honestly will ever notice it. Person who gets the card won't even notice. All right, so we've got that together. Our next step is to put on our designer series paper. So those are, oh, I have a dog that wants to come in and join us. I don't think she really needs to come in and join us. So we've got this packet here that has our die cut pieces and our layering pieces and our designer paper, basically all the fun stuff. So we've got these die cuts here, here, and here. We don't need these quite yet. Set those aside. Don't lose this. This is your gems for the front. And somewhere in here, we've got a couple banners for our greeting. I'm going to set those aside as well. And this is what I was looking for, these layering pieces. For this particular one, I did several layers on the center piece. And partially that just helped me get the designer paper down to a smaller size so I could get more out of a sheet. I also liked the extra contrast I got by having those double layers, but you don't have to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and layer all 3 of these pieces together. If you're making the card along with me because you got the packet, you can decide which side of your other paper you want, or you can just do the snowflake one. The snowflake one is single-sided. All right, so I'm going to do the snowflake one. Snowflake Magic, it's called. I should call it by the right name. The tutorial does have the supply list at the bottom broken out by card, or it will have as soon as I get that portion. That's the next portion I have to do, so that it makes it easy for you to see what was used for each alternate. And this is a very skinny border, so take a little extra time to make sure you get it on there straight. If you want to skip the white, you absolutely can. And you can just do it on the Lost Lagoon layer if you prefer that. Or if it's hard to do the skinny bits. So I'm I just lay it on there until I have about the same border all the way around, and then stick it on. All right, so I've got that all layered up, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere that in that middle panel section of the card. All right. And let's pop that in here. All right, so yeah, this one is kind of a little crazy on the layers. I love lots of layers, I gotta say. All right, so now what's next? Good question. I'm trying to kind of go in the same general order as the tutorial. Bear with me while I grab that and take a look. Okay, next up I did the greetings. Okay, awesome. So so the greetings I use, where did my banners go? Here they are, right here. Found them. All right, so I use the Stylish Shapes banners for this card. Now, when you stamp your greeting for this one, you want to stamp it far to the right side because we're going to cut off this end of the banner. Okay, this one you can stamp in the center. Now, if you're making this card along with me and you don't have these stamps and you're not sure what greetings you want, you can wait on this part and add that later when you've decided what greetings you want. I have the stamps right here. I have the ink pad right here, but I am not going to trust myself to stamp it. I actually get, believe it or not, I get a little nervous when I do the Crafternoons, and so I get a little shaky. So I cheated and I stamped it ahead of time. So you can see I stamped this greeting to the right, and this one I did in the center. So we've got winter wishes there, and then may the season of sparkle bring joy and delight. So hey, I found it, you guys. Right now, if you're seeing a lot of fun things that you would like, or you want to get those new products, one of my jobs as your creative coach is to help you save money on your craft supplies. When you purchase the Stampin' Up! Starter Kit, you can save a lot, and in October you can save more than ever before. So you get two options. You can get 35% off the kit, which means you get $125 of product for just $64.35 plus tax. Shipping is free. Or you can do option 2 and get 35% more product in the starter kit. So the kit is always $99, but instead of getting $125 in product of your choice, you get $168.75 in product. Again, you choose the product, you get to decide what you want in your kit. This deal ends the end of October, so I don't want to forget to tell you about it so that you can jump in on that. Okay, let's get back to our card here. So I've got my inside sentiment here, and I'm just going to take my scissors. You can do this paper trimmer if you prefer. I'm just going to cut it as straight as I can, and then that can go right inside here. You can see this one I cut a little tighter. This one I cut a little looser. It doesn't really matter. The reason we're cutting that off, if we hadn't, the tips of that banner would have likely poked out, and I didn't want them to show. Plus, I liked how it looked just kind of tucked in on the one side. So I've got some adhesive on there, and I'm just going to put this on the edge of my paper. I'll put it down here like I did on the original sample, or you can put it more in the middle. It doesn't matter. Now let's work on the front part of the card. So we've already got these die cuts. Let's bring those in. We're going to start with this one. So this is another online exclusive. This is available right now. It is called Silver and Gold Adhesive Backed Glimmer Paper. So it has adhesive backing on it. So you can gently wiggle it to get out your die cut piece. And if just the glimmer starts coming off and not the backing, that's even better because all you need right now is the glimmer part. Mine is coming out completely, but now I see it separating. If you can't get it to lift, you can use a take your pick tool to get that separated. And we take this backing off, and now we have a sticky piece that's ready to add to our card. So I'm going to lay this at an angle going across the front of the card and then stick it down. All right, now I'm just going to lay the other pieces in place where I want them. So there's that. This one, I need to wiggle it out of its paper. You do want to be a little gentle when you do this because this pine bough is cut from the shimmer paper, which is beautiful, but it's very delicate. Go ahead and just tear that at the bottom so that I can get in here and wiggle this. I don't want to bend it or tear it or any of those things, so I'm just gently wiggling it out of the piece. Almost there. And one more little bit. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. There we go. All right, so I've got that beautiful branch. Now, if you don't want these to be loose on the top edge, you could put a little multi-purpose liquid glue on there and stick them down. I chose to leave them kind of light and fluffy, which also might mean that maybe they'll catch on my card. So I'm not saying that's the perfect solution. That's how I chose to do mine. But if you want to tack that down with some multi-purpose liquid glue, you certainly can do that. All right, one of the other supplies that was on your supply list for this packet that you need to supply is dimensionals. I'm stalling because I had them right here on this desk. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's crazy. Oh, found them. Take a sip, everyone. Oh, I'm getting thirsty. I'm going to take a sip too. All right, so we've got our dimensionals here, and these are how I'm going to secure these ends. Don't worry about this end. We're going to snip that off. Make sure the top part is below the edge of the front panel of the card. I'm going to stick, let's stick 3 on here. So these 2 will hold that down. This one is going to help with the banner. Well, maybe I'll put it over here and it still help get that one down. Okay. And now I'm going to add my winter wishes to those dimensionals. First, I'm going to nip off the little end of this. I don't need that. Bye-bye. All right, and now we're just going to peel the backing off of those dimensionals. And we're going to stick our sentiment right on top of them. And I did bring it down pretty low. So you can see how floaty this is. This is one you certainly could tack down with some multi-purpose liquid glue. Hey Jalen, I'm glad that you're joining us for your first time on a live. So in your post-it note, you got some sparkle gems. Yay, I love the sparkle gems. They're in the annual catalog. They come in champagne, which is perfect for fall, black, which is perfect for Halloween, and silver, which is perfect for everything else, right? So we have, you either have 3 small or 3 large, depending on what was in your packet. My packet happens to have 3 small. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that on here. I'm using my Take Your Pick tool to help me put those in place. And I'm just going to place those randomly. I put one on the one in the bottom corner of the banner and the other 2 up around there. And there is our Cascading Panels Fun Fold card. Hang on a second. Let me clear the deck. Oh, wait, we're not quite done. I got more paper left. You're probably going, Susan, wait, I have more paper left. All right, on the inside of our card, we're going to layer this and adhere it right here. Now, I left mine blank to write a note. If you want to stamp a greeting on here, you may not want to stick this in yet. You might want to stamp your greeting first. That way, if you make a boo-boo, you can flip it over, right? Because, yeah, that's my world. I always plan on making the mistake, and then if I don't, it's just an extra bonus. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this up. And this piece can be any size you want, depending on your sentiment or how much you like to write. You just want to make sure it doesn't show past this piece, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this in the center of the inside. Again, I'm making sure that I'm not over and above the top of that middle panel. You can just kind of eyeball where that is. And there we have our Cascading Pleats Fun Fold card. This is the Magical Meadow version. No, I shouldn't say that. Yeah, magical metal. Okay, I get the name of the paper and the name of the stamp set mixed up. The magical metal is the name. Meadow is the name of the stamp set and die bundle that I used for this card. So there we go. Awesome. And at the beginning of this video, I showed you all the fun alternate designs. Again, if you're interested in the blog post, that's going to have all of the pretty photos of all the different versions of this fun fold card that I created. You can go to suestampfield.com, click on subscribe, and you'll get notifications when that blog post goes live. And the written tutorial will be available very soon. That will be an option in the blog post if you're interested in purchasing that. All the details about that will be in there. So, woo, there we go. We can show this version too that had the designer paper because it's really pretty too, that had the Winter Meadow paper on it. So awesome. I am going to flip the camera. Jennifer, what did I forget to tell them? Let me go to, oh, here we go. Yay. We have in Minnesota here, it's cloudy today and windy. So sometimes the sun is coming out and I have these weird sun blotch things on my face, but those aren't there right now. So that's good. So thank you all for doing Crafternoon with me. And again, thank you for making and sending handmade cards. I'm going to be back in just a few hours tonight at 7:30 p.m. Central Time for our regular Saturday night Stampin' Party, and we'll be designing a card together with your input. So if you're free tonight, I'd love you to join me. If you're not, you can always catch it on the replay. And one more time, you can subscribe to the the free project sheets that come in the email, and also the blog at suestampfield.com. Take care, everyone, and have a great rest of your Saturday Crafternoon. Bye-bye.